we'll just start standing for a little bit. Just feet comfortably under your hips, lifting tall through the spine, lifting the heart, letting the shoulders relax. Go ahead and lift all your toes. Really pull them up and then spread them back down. And then let your heels float up as you inhale. If you want, you can bring the arms with it and exhale down. So just a few deep breaths as we lift up onto the toes, hold for a moment and exhale down. Good opportunity to really get into some breathing here, get used to breathing more deeply. And when your heels come down, we'll do what's called a standing swan. Take your palms facing forward, then turn to point your thumbs back. And we're going to lift the arms up behind us, thumbs lift up. And then as we come up, we turn the thumbs pointing down, let our knees bend, let our back round, and then come back to standing. So that a few times. So thumbs pointing up as we stretch back and up, nice big stretch. And then thumbs point down. We let our back round a bit, let our knees bend a little bit. And breathe. Again, lifting up as we inhale. Rotating our arms internally, right, as we exhale, rounding. And then go ahead and come up to standing. We'll hula hoop the hips, nice and big. Let the joints move. Yeah, let everything kind of go where it will, and the other direction. Circling the other way. And then coming to center, let's bring our right knee up and stretch our left arm, and then switch to the right arm and left knee. And just kind of reach and lift and breathe. And we'll take it into a twist by swinging that arm back and following it back and just adding a little bit of a twist. Let the arms kind of just go, kind of swing, kind of release them, right, as you do this little side to side twist. And then coming back to center, give it a little shake. We're going to come to the end of our mat and here, roll down. So standing, take an inhale, and then on our exhale, letting our head, shoulders, arms take us down to the mat. Yes. Releasing, letting the knees bend and straighten a little bit. Maybe you can have your hands on the mat, maybe not. Just hang. And letting our knees be a little bit bent, we'll go ahead and stack the spine back up. So arms heavy. We feel that little stretch in our back, and then at the top we inhale and roll back down on our exhale, letting the weight of our arms bring us down. We might want to bend one knee and then the other. Our hips move a little bit. Coming to center, centering the hips, walking our hands out to plank or down dog, letting the fingers spread wide, lifting the tailbone, letting the head and neck relax. The body might like to shift around a little bit here to stretch the heels down. Let the head dangle if that's comfortable for you. Release it. And then we can walk our hands a little farther out, maybe coming into more of a plank, or you might want to come all the way down. However far down as hips want to come, and take a couple of deep breaths here. And then we'll bring ourselves onto the mat. You might lower down or just bring your knees underneath you. Come around to bring ourselves onto our back. And what we'll do is we'll start coming onto our back, draw our knees into our chest here. And just let your arms stir your legs. So legs relax. And just let your arms do the work of stirring the legs in opposite circles, right? And just let the legs totally go here. Give a little stir. So you really loosen up the hip joint. And then reverse your little circles. So opposite circles, opposite directions. Up, in, down, and out. And then bringing the knees together, we're going to clasp our hands behind our head. So just go ahead and let your legs relax here. Inhale. As we exhale, we're going to press head and shoulders up. We're going to curl. So try to bring your knees towards your head towards your knees. And then relax the head and shoulders down. Inhale. And then exhale again, pressing up, curling into a ball. Try to bring your knees towards your head. Really try to get your head towards your knees. And then relax the head and shoulders down. Good. One more time. Exhaling, pressing up, head towards knees, knees toward heads, curl. Feel that tailbone lift off the mat, and then relax down. And then go ahead and bring the feet onto the mat. And you might want your feet a little bit wider apart here, whatever feels good to you. Sway your legs over to one side. Our hands behind our head. Just let the legs relax to one side. And then lift up the legs and sway them the other way. Let them relax. And then lifting the legs, we'll take our arms out from our shoulders, so straight out in that T position. Cross right leg on top of the left. So stack that leg. Try to get the knees stacked as much as you can. Let your legs sway over to the left and relax. And just totally let those legs relax and just take a breath here. Next, exhale. See if you can let your legs be totally heavy as you draw them back to the top, right? Using your breath. Feel that right shoulder lift them up. And then again, inhale them over to the left side. And using our exhale to lift our legs. Really let them be heavy so you're using your oblique muscles. Good. And again, sway over to the left on the inhale. And exhale those legs back to the top. When you get to the top, continue swaying over to the right. Just let your legs hang out over here. Feel a nice stretch to the front of your left hip and thigh. And lifting the legs up, we'll uncross. Stack the left leg on top of the right. And sway over to the right. Let the legs relax. Taking a breath here. And then next exhale. See how heavy you can let your legs be as you draw them back up. Using your breath. And inhale over to the right. And feel that left shoulder almost pulling your knees back up. And one more time, they sway over to the right, totally heavy, and exhale back to the top, and then continue swaying over to the left. Relax them to that side. Good, and lift knees back up, uncross the legs, and we'll center ourselves so the heels are in line with our sits bones. Go ahead and slide your arms down by your side. Inhale. I just swallowed a bug. As you exhale, curl the tailbone up, peel your spine off the mat, one bone at a time. Fortunately, it was a small one. And then at the top of our bridge, we're going to press our right hip up. Let your left hip drop just a little bit, maybe an inch or so, and exhale down the left side of your spine. And then centering our hips as we inhale, exhale up the center, one vertebra at a time. Excuse me. At the top of our bridge, we're pressing that left hip up. Let your right hip drop just a little bit, and we'll exhale down the right side, really pressing that left hip up. So we really feel a stretch there. Good. And then letting your hips come center, inhaling, exhaling up the center again. And then we'll bring our arms over our head, let them relax on the ground, however wide apart they want to be. And then just let your hip tilt to the left, lower that hip down and press back up. And then tilt your hip to the right and lower down and press back up. Tilt to the left, lower down, press up. Right hip tilts down, lower down, press up. So little hip tilt, lower, and then press the hips back up. Lower and press back up. Tilt, lower, scoop it up. Yeah. So really trying to get some mobility in our pelvis here. Next time the hips come up to the top, stay there and inhale, and then just letting the spine melt down on your exhale, one bone at a time. Let your hips relax. We're going to lift our arms to the ceiling. Inhale, curl up on your exhale, reach past your legs. Reach, 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 straightening the legs to roll up. And then when we come up to the top, take a big stretch over the legs. Lifting back up, we're going to inhale. On our exhale, we're going to roll back down. And then as we start to come about halfway, slide the feet in to bring them back under you. And arms back over the head. Relax. Inhale. Exhale. Peel the spine off the mat. One vertebra at a time. Inhale at the top and melt down on your exhale. As your hips come down, lift the arms. Exhale. Curl up and reach. And then we're let our legs straighten to roll up. And take a stretch over the legs. We'll do that sequence one more time. So lifting, inhale, exhale, start to roll back. And then you can slide your feet in as you come onto your back. Bring your arms over your head. Nice deep breath. Exhale, peel your spine off the mat. Pressing the hips up as we inhale. And melting down on our exhale. And we lift our arms, inhale, exhale, curl up and reach. Straightening the legs as we roll up and stretch. Then we're going to lift our right knee up, grab hold and exhale back with that right leg. Okay, so slowly onto the back, pull your knee in, lie the head down and stretch your legs away from each other. That right leg a good stretch. And then lift the head up towards your knee, curl in, and then you can either hold onto your leg or reach your arms alongside your leg. And we're going to roll up on our exhale. So straighten the leg to roll up. Again, you can hang on to your leg or not. And then take a stretch. Good. Lift up, and we'll take that left leg and we'll roll back. So slowly onto our back and stretch the knee in. Stretch your right leg away from your left leg. Curl your head up toward your knee. Get a little stretch there. And then you might want to release that leg for more challenge, or you can use your hands. And we're going to exhale up. So straightening the leg, reaching, and coming up and taking a stretch. Okay? So do that a couple more times. Inhale, exhaling back with your right leg. Slowly. Good. Pull it in. And then if you want, release and reach past your leg to come up, or use your hands as you exhale back up. Right. Take a stretch. Nice deep breath, grabbing onto this left leg as we roll back, shoulders relaxed. How much control can we have here? Stretch the legs, curl your head up towards your knee, and then either reach your arms hold on to your leg as you exhale. Straighten that leg to roll back up. Right? Take a stretch. And then we're going to take the right leg straight this time. So holding on wherever you can hold on to that leg, lift it up. This time the same thing, only with your leg straight, roll onto your back, lie down, and give your leg a nice stretch. You can move your foot, of course. And then we're going to lift our head and shoulders. And again, use your hands on your leg or reach your arms alongside your leg to roll up. So we lower that leg, lift our head and shoulders, and we roll up. So it's really up to you how much challenge or what level you're at to do whatever works for you, but try to work on the control. So we lift that left leg up, inhale, and we exhale back onto our back with this leg in the air, giving it a good stretch. Maybe I didn't swallow that bug. There's still a bug here. It's the same one or a different one. I don't know. Move your foot. Little tiny thing. Only a little extra protein. Not a mosquito. Okay. And then either holding onto your leg, curl the head and shoulders up, reach your arms or hold on to your leg to come up. Leg lowers. Come up. Take a stretch. And then we lift our right leg again. Roll onto our back. The stretch. Again, move your foot if you want. And we're going to get that leg as straight as we can. Take our arms out from our shoulders and take your leg across the body. So we're reaching our foot towards our left hand, right? Keeping our right shoulder on the ground. And lift that leg up. Then we're going to open, taking our foot towards our right hand as we open the leg out. And using the exhale to lift. Good. And again, taking it across the body, reaching foot toward hand. You can always use a strap if you really need to use a strap for this to help you. You're like really really tight or you can't get your legs straight or whatever, it's too much, right? You can use a strap. And then opening that leg out to the side or a band. And exhale up. Let's do one more, taking it across the body, reaching toward that hand. Maybe you go a little farther. Use your exhale to lift. And then opening the leg out. And exhale to lift. And then again, you can either hold on to your leg or you can reach your arms by your leg. Curl up and lowering that leg, roll up to sit and bring the leg down. And take a stretch over the leg. Picking up our left leg up as we roll onto our back. Give it a stretch. And you can move your foot. Whatever feels good. And lift your head and shoulders. If you want to kind of give that leg a pull, right? Or you want to stretch your leg. And then we're going to let go and get as straight as we can. Arms out from our shoulders. Take the leg across, reaching your foot towards your right hand as you anchor your left shoulder. And lifting that leg up and opening out towards your left hand. And using your exhale to lift. Pretty sure I swallowed a bug. Okay, and then take it over to your right hand again. Try to get that leg as straight as we can. Get a good stretch through that IT and hip. And lift up. Open it out to the left. Foot toward hand. And lift up. One more time. Leg across. Maybe you go a little further. And lifting that leg up. One more time, we open it, reaching towards our left hand. And exhale up. Good. And then again, curl up and reach or hold on to your leg. And roll up. Sitting. Leg comes down. And take a big stretch over your legs. And lift up. So we're going to straddle the legs. Now, however wide you want, not too wide though, but however you're comfortable with the sit bones. If your knees need to be bent, that's okay. So we're going to take our arms up. So if you need a little bend in your knees and it helps you sit taller, that's better than trying to force them down, okay? We're going to lift the arms tall over the head and we're going to hinge forward. So flat back, right? Arms by the ears. And just kind of go however far you can, feeling like your back is flat, right? As much as possible. Keep those arms lifted. Keep your head lifted. Okay? Feel like you're kind of lengthening through the crown. And then you're going to let your hands float down and relax. So hands on the mat and just stack your spine back up. And then again, reach up, lifting tall. Good. Lift, 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 and hinge forward. Kind of let your flat back take you forward, lifting those arms, lifting the head. And then let your arms float down, let your back relax, and stack the spine up. And then this time we're going to lift our arms. We're going to take a little rotation to the left leg, but don't let your pelvis move. Let your hips stay anchored down. And again, lifting tall and flat back over that left leg. Don't let the pelvis shift. Try to keep it in the same position. Reach. And then let your arms float down as you relax and stack the spine back up. And then arms come up in, reach, lift up, take your flat back forward, keep your head lifted, keep your arms lifted, reach to the crown. And then relaxing as your arms float down and stack the spine back up. We're really getting some good back strengthening, right? Okay, turn to the right leg, reaching the arms up, little rotation to the right, flat back, reach forward, lift, really flattening the back. Let your arms float down, relax forward and stack the spine all the way up and lift again, reaching up, flat back over that right leg, head lifted, reach out, and then relaxing forward, arms, hands come down, stack the spine all the way up. Good. Come back to center. You can bring your legs together. Take them into, bring them into a diamond or a, but like a long-legged butterfly, and just stretch forward over your legs. Let your hips relax and let your legs relax as much as possible. And then we're going to sit up and lift our knees up as we reach forward on our inhale. Good. Exhale, roll back, relax. And you can go all the way down if you want. Take your arms with you. You might want to sweep them around to help you roll back up on your exhale or whatever you prefer. Good. And then lift the arms up as you inhale. Reach forward, exhale, roll back. And again, you might sweep your arms or you might not. And inhale, reach and roll up on your exhale. Good. And lift up one more time, lifting. Arms come forward and exhale, round back. Good. Nice deep breath. Inhale, lift, exhale, reach. Roll up nice and smooth. And when you come to the top, one more lift and release the arms down. Great. We're going to straighten our legs. We're going to roll onto our back and bring our arms over our head. Clasp your hands, your legs together. Roll your whole body onto your side. So lying on our arm, on the edge of our mat. You can have your top arm on your leg if you want. I can't get this bug out. Okay, or you can have it on the ground in front of you. Inhale, glue the legs together. As you exhale, float the legs up. Float your head off of your arm. Reach for your feet. If your arm is on your leg, hold and lower back down. Good. Inhale. Again, exhale. Reach for your feet. Legs float up. Head floats up. Hold and lower back down. One more. Hope I'm not coughing through the whole class. Exhale up, reach. It's really stuck in there. And lower back down. And then you can just relax. Bend your knees so that your knees are stacked, a half bend. Hips stacked. Good. And we're going to lift our feet just a little bit. Float them up off the mat. We're going to open that top knee and then straighten, extend that leg out. Bend it and then close the knee. Okay, so inhale, open. Try not to roll back at all. Just open as much as you can. Extend, bend, and close. Open, extend, bend, and close. And inhale and exhale, extend, bend, and close. Open, extend, bend, and close. This time we'll, open, stay there. Extend 5 kicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bend the knee. And then let that knee lower. Let your legs relax down all the way. And extend that top leg. Flex your foot. Kick forward as you inhale. Reach back as you exhale. Kick. And reach. I think I'm going to need a drink of water. Inhale, kick. Exhale, reach. Inhale, kick. Exhale, reach and stay there. Bend your knee. Pull your knee forward, reach your heel, and circle back, pointing. And then bend. Really reaching back before you bend, and then bring that knee forward so we get full range of motion. Next time you reach back, we're going to reverse. So reach and then kick forward, pull it in, heel to butt, stretch back. How big of a bicycle can we make on this side, right? Good. Big movement. Next time you reach back, stay there. Reach your arm away from your leg and stretch. And then let's lift our leg, lift our arm, take your arm behind you, take your leg forward. And then lift the leg, lift the arm, and switch again. Oh my God. Okay, lift the arm, lift the leg, and switch again. And again, lifting up and reach. Good. Really stretch. And then let your leg relax. Bring your hand in. Go ahead and press up to your elbow. And we're going to extend that top leg again here. Elbow under the shoulder. Bring your top arm just kind of on top of your hip, a little bit behind your hip. Palm up. You're going to lift it. You're going to rainbow that arm forward, touch down in front and at a diagonal. And then bring it back, open to the back, palm faces up, lift up, and then rainbow it, palm faces down. Now, if you want to add the hip lift to that, right, you're going to take that arm back. And then as we lift up, we lift the hip and we take that arm forward and stretch and lift up, lower the hip as your arm goes back, lift up as your arm goes forward. Right, just rainbowing that arm and with or without the hip lift. Stretch. Good. One more time. Breathe. It's time when we come up and lower the hip down, we can bring ourselves up to mermaid or whatever position works good for you with your legs and on this side. And take your arm up over, take a little side stretch. Yeah. You can always bend your elbow whenever your arm is up too. If that's, you can hold onto the back of your head and just lift your elbow because you're still stretching your side. Sometimes the arm gets a little tired, or the shoulder gets a little tired when we do a lot of straight arm. You can always bend it. Okay, and then we can come up and do a little hip stretch. If you want to cross that leg over, back your legs, or whatever version of a hip stretch you want to do, you can just take a moment to stretch the hip. I think it went down. It's amazing how the tiniest little bug can really be a problem in your esophagus or your trachea, wherever it was. My throat. I think I inhaled it into my esophagus, actually. Okay, so we're going to come up and We're going to come to our other side, but first we have to roll onto our back. So bring your arms over your head, legs together, arms together. Just roll the whole body onto your other side. Good. And if you want to put your top arm on your leg, if that works for you, inhaling, glue the legs together. Exhale, float up, reach for your feet. Good. Hold and float back down. Nice deep breath. Exhale up, reach. Good. Hold and down. Again, one more. Deep breath. Float up, reach, hold, hold, and lower down. And let your knees bend into that half bend with your knees stacked, hips stacked. Lift your feet a little bit, and then we're going to open that knee up, extend the leg, bend, and close. So open, extend. Try to fully extend, fully open. Yeah, fully open that knee as much as you can and fully extend the leg, bend, and close. We really open our hip. Open, extend, work the external rotators. Open. Whoops, the bug isn't gone. Okay, one more. Open, and then 5 kicks. 1, bend, 2, bend, extend, bend, 4, bend, 5, bend, and then let the knees relax, let the feet relax down. Going to extend that top leg, really reach to your heel here, kick forward and reach back. Inhale, kick, exhale, reach. Big kick and reach. Feel that hip flexor get a stretch. Next time we kick back, we're going to stay there, bend the knee, bring it up, reach to the heel, and reach back. So full range of motion. So we're pointing and flexing our foot. We're moving all of our joints. And the next time we reach back, we're going to reverse that bicycle. Heel to butt and really reach back. Flex, pull it in, heel to butt, reach back. And breathe. And then next time we reach back, you're going to stay there, reach your arms forward away from your leg. Stretch. And lift the arm, lift the leg, and switch. And lift again and switch. A nice twisting of our torso. Lift and switch. Lift and switch. Let's do again. One more to the back. Arm goes back, leg goes forward. And then lift, arm goes forward, leg goes back, and stretch. And then bending the knee, letting that leg relax. We're going to press up to the elbow. Again, finding elbow under the shoulders. You can straighten your top leg again, and we'll press into the ground. Bring this top arm, palm facing up, slightly back. And we're going to lift it up, rainbow it forward, and touch down diagonally, right? So it's a diagonal line. It goes back. We look, we follow our arm back. We lift up, and we follow it forward. And then if you want to add the hip lift, right, that arm back, and then as you lift up, lift your hips and reach, stretch it forward, lift it up. Let the hip lower as you go back and lift as you come forward. Diagonal line, slightly in front of us, slightly behind us, and breathe. Good. And your hips don't have to lift, it's optional. This time when we come down, lower the hips all the way. We'll go ahead and bring ourselves up to mermaid or something like mermaid. And take a side stretch here. And your arm can bend. You don't have to have it straight. Yeah. Then we'll take a moment to do a little hip stretch. You want to stack your knees or do a figure 4 or something that works too, just as long as you feel a stretch in your hip. Right? For me, I have to do one side differently than the other, but you can always get a stretch somehow. You also we can move our head and neck around or shoulders, just whatever feels good, right? While you're here stretching your hip. Your legs around. Right, and then we'll bring ourselves out from that stretch and come around to our all fours. You like to have a little padding under knees or hands or whatever you might need, and do that. So we're gonna let's bring our hands a little bit farther out from our body instead of being directly underneath our shoulders, just slightly forward, right? And then we're gonna exhale, round the back, curl the tailbone, and press the hips back toward your heels. And then lifting the body up, we'll come into extension. So just kind of lean forward, extending the spine, looking up, and then bringing ourselves back and curling the tailbone under, back, and lift up, extension. And back, curl tailbone under, press back, do a little stretch in the shoulder, pulling up and into extension. We'll stay here in extension if you're able to, and then just look over your left shoulder, kind of like looking to the left and back to center, and then looking to the right over that right shoulder, back to center, press up, curling the tailbone under. Go ahead and press back to the heels and stay there for a moment. A little stretch. And then we'll come back onto our hands. I'm going to stretch our left leg straight back. And again, put your hands wherever they need to be to make it comfortable and stable for you. We're going to lift the leg up and we're going to take it over to the right and turn and look over your right shoulder. And then lift the leg up and take it over to the left and look over your left shoulder. So we're just going to follow our leg here and then lift it up, take it over to the right, looking over your right shoulder, do a little side bend. Okay. And then lifting up and taking it over to the left. Lift it up and turn and look to the right. Lift it up and to the left. Good. And then we'll bring that knee back under our body. Stretch the right leg straight back. Good. And we're going to take it over to the left, turn and look over that left shoulder. Lift it up, over to the right, and look to the right. Good, and lift up, following it to the left. Feeling your little stretch in your side, lift up and follow to the right. Yeah, arcing over to the left. And lift up, over to the right. And then bring your knee back under your body, stretch back to your hips. To your heels. And come on to your belly on your elbows. Elbows under the shoulders. And legs straight back. We're going to press our front of our pelvis into the mat, press our arms into the mat, and we're going to do single leg kick. So you're going to kick, and then extend. Kick, and extend. So really keep your pelvis pressing into the mat so it doesn't move. Get a good stretch in the front of the thigh. Kick and extend. Kick and extend. And breathe. Good. And then go ahead and relax your legs. We're going to bring our arms out from our shoulders. So T position, like an airplane, right straight out from the shoulders, looking down. You're going to press your head and shoulders up, or your head and chest up with your hands on the ground. Right? It's just lifting however high you can lift, and then float your left arm off the ground and hold. And then relax everything. And then press your head and chest up. Float your right hand off the ground and hold. And just hold here. And relax everything for a moment. And again, press head and chest up. And now float both arms. Hold. We're going to point our palms toward our feet. We're just going to stretch back, roll the shoulders back, reach for the feet, maybe lift up a little higher, right? Feel the shoulder blades come together. And breathe. And relax down for a moment. You might let your head go to one side. And then lifting the head and chest up, roll the shoulders back. Reach back again, lifting here, and then bring the arms back the way they came so they're out from the shoulders, and then bend the elbows, draw them in towards your waist. Hands are under the shoulders. Hover and lower down and relax. And then we're going to slide our right arm slightly up so it's about a foot higher than your left arm. Same position, only a little bit up on your mat. And we're going to lift our head and chest, press into our arms to straighten them, and then turn and look over your left shoulder. And then come back around and lower down. And again, lift head and chest. Press into the hands, and then turn and look over your left shoulder. And back around and lower down. Like a crooked swan. Okay, one more time. Lift up, press into the hands, turn and look over the left shoulder. Back around and lower down. And then we'll bring our right hand back where it was. Take your left arm a little bit, hand a little higher up. And then we'll do the same. Inhale, exhale, lift head and chest, press into the hands, turn and look over your right shoulder. And back around and lower down. Good. Inhale, exhale, up, pressing up, turn and look to the right. Back and lower down. And one more time. Press up, turn to the right, look back, good, and back around, and lower down and draw both hands back under your shoulders. Now we're just going to do the centered one. Lift head and chest up, press into the hands as much as you want to, and lower back down. So again, lengthen up, press into the hands, and lower back down. This time we'll press up, good, all the way onto our knees. So bringing the knees underneath, we're going to press back onto the heels here and stretch our back. Feet. You might like your knees apart, together, whatever feels good to you. Oh, could take a back stretch for a long time. Okay, we'll come up from there. Well, we won't stay there any longer. Okay, come around to sitting and start by bringing your hands behind the hips and your knees bent. So however far back your hands want to go and your fingers want to, wherever they want to be, you want to be able to lean back, right? Onto your hands. You might widen the hands apart a little bit. Now this really opens the shoulder and the chest. So kind of find what works for you as far as how far your hands need to be apart. And then we're going to see if we can lift one leg and then the other in this position. Now your hands might need to go farther back when you do that, right? You're going to have your legs together. You're going to take them over to the right and lift them back up. Take them over to the left. And they might be not very high off the ground either. Take them to the right, back, and left, and back, and right, and back, and left, and back. And stay here. Bring your feet to the mat. Come up. Hug your knees. Round your back. Come in toward your knees. Good. I know that can be tricky for some people. I think it has to do with how flexible we are. Okay, so we're going to take our arms forward and we're going to roll slowly onto our back. As we start to come to the sacrum, lift one knee, lift the other knee up, and come all the way up to the back. Arms up. Maybe take them over your head if that's comfortable for you. And then inhale as you curl up, reach and roll yourself up, stretching the legs out. And then start to bend the knees as you come back onto your back. Arms might come all the way over your head. Good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, stretch out and roll up. Knees don't have to be straight. You can keep them bent if you need to, right? Roll onto your back. Really, whatever you can do with this. So it's just about rolling up and down. Inhale, exhale, roll up. That's what Pilates is a lot about, right? Roll back down. One more time. Inhale, curl up. Exhale, roll up. You can also have your hands on your legs and walk yourself up, of course. Good. And then go ahead and lower the feet. Come up. Yeah. Maybe hug your legs in and round again if that feels good to you. And then we'll bring ourselves to sitting. Take whatever amount of straddle the legs like to go in with your knees bent. And start with your hands behind the hips, kind of like back a little bit, and flatten the back. And just kind of press your torso forward. Okay, so we're getting a stretch in the low back sacrum. And lift up. And then we'll straighten the legs if they will straighten. Bring your arms out. We're going to do back saw. So you're going to rotate over to the whatever hand is behind you. Let that elbow bend as you stretch back away from your foot. And then come back around. Rotate back to the other side and stretch. Now you can add the hip lift if you want a little more work, right? As you rotate and stretch across, you might lift your hip up. It's getting harder for me nowadays. Or just stretch to the back, okay? So really reach back. Yeah. I think it has to do with the heat. Rotate and reach. And come back. And rotate and stretch. And then we'll go into a forward saw. When we come back around, we rotate, reach across for the opposite foot. You might grab onto it if you're able to, and then lift up, rotate, reach across, anchor the hips down. And you might actually use your back hand, or you might stretch it away from your front hand. So really breathe. Anchor the hips. And you're even on both sides, and you come back to center. You can just give your shoulders a little roll. Yeah. Forward, up and back. And then we'll just let our head lengthen the spine and just draw a circle with your nose in front of you, basically, right? So to circle the head, just think of drawing a circle with your nose. Maybe it's a big circle, or maybe it's a little circle. And then the other direction. Might hear some sounds in your neck. And then one more thing we'll do, but I forgot to mention, you can sit comfortably if you want to at this point. Bring your feet together or sit cross-legged and just have your hands out from your side and sit tall, right? And then just let your right ear drop to your right shoulder. Lift your left arm slightly off the ground with your palm facing forward, and look a little bit up as you take your arm slightly back, right? So we're getting into the scalene area here. And then bring that hand back, head up. Let your left ear drop. Make sure your spine is tall. Left ear to the left shoulder. Lift your right arm slightly, palm facing forward. Take your arm slightly back as you look up. Wave kind of at that diagonal, right? So you really feel that in the side of the neck, shoulder area. Good, and back to center and let your head come up. All right. Thanks, you guys, for coming. It's a nice small class, but I hope it was